Morning YouTube. I thought I'd do a follow-up video for the original one that I posted a couple of weeks ago, and to be honest I was absolutely staggered about the engagement on that and all the comments and likes and views and what have you, so on. So thank you very much for that. I had quite a few questions. Hopefully most of those are answered, but I thought I'd bring you up to date with a few changes that I've made since that first video and what I'm going to do today as far as the request is concerned. So we'll have a quick look at the bike. I'll go through a few things that I've changed for my choice, and one force changed. So let's have a quick look at the bike. Okay, so the first thing that I've changed is I've actually put back on the Jivy touring screen. So I took that off mainly for aesthetics reasons, to be perfectly frank. It is quite big, it is quite tall, but since we've been out, or since I've been allowed back out riding, what I've noticed is with the standard screen, even though it's got the Palmer Products mount on it, the amount of fly swat and squash that I was getting on my jacket and on my visor was quite incredible, even though it was at its tallest height. So I've put it back on, and I've been out for a few rides in the same sort of locations, and the difference is quite phenomenal. This Jivy screen gets splattered, as does the front and everywhere else, but my jacket, my visor, literally nothing on it. He says looking at one part of the visor that's actually got some fly squat on it, but literally that's the only piece. So that's something I've changed to put back on. For the purists of us, yes, I agree, it's not the prettiest thing, but hey, it does help. Right, the other thing that I've had to change is I got an email. You may have seen the Garmin, the ZUMO XT. I got an email from Garmin saying that there's a problem with this mount, only for the first batch of, I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000. So you do need to check your serial numbers, which you can find on the back. I don't know whether you can see that, but hopefully you can. On the back there is the serial number. It's quite small next to the QR code. Mine actually starts with an 888, so it's quite an early one. And apparently there's a problem with this mount. So I don't know exactly what the problem is, but there is a problem with it where theoretically this thing can come out. Now, mine feels absolutely fine. I've not had a problem with it, but the good guys at Garmin have taken all the details, and they're dispatching me a new mount that I'll have to feed back in. So in the meantime, that's still going to be on there, but it will be changing as soon as I get back. One of the requests that I had in the comments was actually nothing about the gear that I was actually focusing on the original video, but it was more to do with the Termi exhaust that I've got on the bike, which is a D193 Termi Pikes Peak Edition exhaust. It came with it, wasn't my choice. This was an ex-demo machine from the guys at Highside Ducati in Romford, who've now moved to Colchester. So big shout out to those guys. Those guys were brilliant. But the bike came fitted with the exhaust, which was fantastic, and I've been very pleased with it. So I've been asked by one chap if I would take the bike out and try and strap on the GoPro, or in my case here it's a DJI Osmo Action. Try and strap it to the bike and capture some noise. Not sure how successful that's going to be, because I do need to get up to speed obviously, but I found a mounting point on the back, which is that there. I'll try and angle the camera down so that it gets the Termi, and hopefully it'll pick up the sound. One other thing, just purely from my point of view, I've been stuck in the house probably like all you guys have as well. Thought I'd treat myself to a couple of things for the season. I've got this new Klim Marrakesh jacket, which I must admit I've been out in it twice now, and it's absolutely fantastic as far as you know, a good protective all mesh jacket's concerned. I highly recommend you look at one of these. It is touch pricey at 400 quid, but the guys at Moto Legends have been fantastic in sort of getting this to me. The sizing is American sizing, so do go by it. If you think you're an XL, you're probably a large. If you think you're a 2XL, you're probably a large or an XL. So it's very, very flexible and so on. The other thing I thought I'd treat myself to as well is a pair of these Knox Handroid gloves, which have all of this back of the knuckle, back of the hand type protection. Lovely kangaroo palm inside, inside leather, and these rather funky dial grips which do away with the Velcro. So I've treated myself to a few things. I love the gloves, they're great, but the kangaroo leather is very, very thin. You get quite sweaty with it, very thin. So unless your grips are comfortable, you know, they do feel a bit hard, but it's a small price to pay. They're lovely gloves and, you know, highly, highly protective. So thoroughly recommend those. So look, I'm going to take the bike out, I'm going to warm it up, take it up. I live in East Sussex, so I'm going to take it up to a sort of scenic part round by Beachy Head that I can sort of open it up and get the bike on an overrun, so you can hear hopefully the pops and bangs of the exhaust. So next time you see me, I'll be up there. See you then.
Okay, so whilst we're getting to the Beachy Head area, I'm just in the little village of Eastdean, which is on the way to Berlin Gap round Beachy Head. It's incredibly windy today. The first part of the video was in my back garden, which is quite sheltered by all the trees, but as I was coming across the top of Beachy Head, my God, it's blowing absolute hoolie. So I'm not too sure how the mic is going to pick up any of the sounds, but anyway, we'll give it a go. If it doesn't work, then I may come out and do it another day. But we're just going to head up now. I'll set it all up, and we'll see how we get on. Yeah, whilst we're just on the way up there, yeah, just a couple more words about this Klim jacket. It's like my other jacket is a Dane. It's a full Gore-Tex thing, which beautiful in the spring and winter and so on. But and it's been pretty okay for most part of April. But on that really hot spell that we got, yeah, even with all the vents open and so on, I was feeling the heat a bit. So I've got this mesh jacket, full mesh jacket, which has still got all the D30 armour in it, so hopefully you can see the wind. It's coming from the right, blowing me all over the shop. So yeah, this jacket, every panel, or the whole material, all the material is made out of this mesh material, Cordura, I think. Lets in air everywhere, and to be honest with you, what's the temperature now saying on there? It's 15 degrees, and it's feeling more like 10 with this wind. So I've only got a little base layer on it, so you do need to layer up with these things. But on the real hot days, it was an absolute godsend, it really was. And if you have or haven't got a summer mesh jacket, then you know, have a look at them. The other thing was these Knox gloves, which I'm still getting used to. I'm being perfectly frank. I've only had them for a couple of weeks, to be frank. But they're the cut down version. They're called the pods, the Knox Handroid 4 pods, which are the cut down ones. Apparently the full ones are, you know, up to here for racing and what have you. Thank you, Senna. So yeah, these are the cut down ones. Good reviews and so on, so I thought I'd try them, and I must admit I'm very pleased with them. Right, so we're heading up to Beachy Head now, and I'll get all the gears set up, and we'll see how we get on with the actual sound test.
Okay, so we're up at Beachy Head. You can see, hopefully you can see Beltoot Lighthouse in the background there. As expected, it's extremely windy, so I'm going to set the GoPro up, see how it goes. Yeah, you can see a lot of people out today, a lot of bikes. Hopefully you can see a little bit of the top of Beachy Head in the background there. So, as I say, very busy place for bikes and so on. So I'll get it set up, see how we go.
Okay, so let's see how this goes in. Got a few, let's just try and get past this bloke. Hopefully you can hear it on the downshifts there. Holy, how windy is it? I've got it lent over 5 degrees. Probably more. Holy crap. Right, I think we get down to, we're 500 and odd foot up here at Beachy Head. I think we get down along the seafront. Hello, sir. I think we'll get down to the seafront and see how we go from there. Oh look, and we've caught the boys with the loud exhausts up. So we're just heading down now to the Meads area of Eastbourne. And that takes us along the seafront, which hopefully will be slightly less windy. Just a chance to give it a bit of overrun. This is what my family referred to as Porsche Corner. Quite a few years ago I had a Porsche 944 Turbo and stuck it up the bank on the left hand side there. Oh dear. So every time we go past that bend, ah, here comes Porsche Corner. Hopefully you can hear those overruns. It's quite... You can hear it from in here, so hopefully the rear camera is going to pick it up, hopefully. Well, it's definitely less windy down here. Like I say, that's 500 foot near as damn it, down to sea level, and this is the busiest I've seen. I haven't done the road since the shutdown's been done, that's for sure. But this is easily the busiest I've seen this place. A lot of people out, yeah. Well, I hope that's been useful, and hopefully the sound came out all right so that you can actually hear what's going on. So yeah, give us a like, enter any questions that you might have in the comments below. I'll do my absolute best to reply to them as quickly as I can, as the pier is looking in fine fettle. And I will see you at the next one. Take care.